Jim was no ordinary traffic cone. His bright orange exterior masked a cunning mind, and his conical shape belied a hunger for power. While other cones dutifully directed traffic, Jim plotted his ascent up the corporate ladder of the bustling highway department. His colleagues admired him. "Jim's a go-getter," they said. "Always volunteering for overtime, taking on extra shifts, and attending those mind-numbing safety seminars." Little did they know that Jim's ambitions extended far beyond road safety. Jim's first move was subtle. He'd arrive early, rearrange the traffic cones to create chaos, and then swoop in to restore order. His superiors praised his efficiency, unaware that Jim had orchestrated the chaos in the first place. "Promotion material," they whispered. Next, Jim mastered the art of office politics. He'd linger by the water cooler, eavesdropping on conversations. When the supervisor complained about budget constraints, Jim would casually suggest cost-saving measures. "Why not replace all stop signs with Jim-approved hand gestures?" he'd propose. His colleagues chuckled, thinking it was a joke. But Jim was dead serious. He'd forge memos, manipulate spreadsheets, and subtly sabotage rival cones. His desk drawer held a secret stash of stolen traffic light bulbs, a bargaining chip for future favors. As Jim climbed the ladder, he grew bolder. He'd attend meetings he wasn't invited to, slipping in unnoticed. When the department head discussed funding allocations, Jim would interject, "What if we diverted funds to the Jim Special Projects account?" The head would nod, impressed by Jim's audacity. But Jim's biggest coup came during the annual safety inspection. The auditors arrived, clipboards in hand, ready to scrutinize every cone. Jim had prepared meticulously. He bribed the inspector with a shiny new reflective vest and whispered, "Remember, Jim's your friend." The inspection went flawlessly. Jim's cones were pristine, his safety protocols impeccable. The auditors left, singing praises. Jim was on cloud nine. He'd made it almost. One fateful day, Jim overreached. The mayor himself was visiting the highway department. Jim saw an opportunity, the ultimate power move. He'd impress the mayor, secure a key to the city, and maybe even rename a street after himself. Jim donned his best reflective tape, polished his base, and stood tall. The mayor approached, flanked by cameras. Jim cleared his non-existent throat. "Mr. Mayor," he began, "I propose a radical change. Let's replace all traffic lights with synchronized dance routines." Imagine the joy. The mayor blinked. "Dance routines?" "Yes." Jim twirled, as much as a cone could. The cha-cha crosswalk, the salsa stop, and the tango turn. "It'll revolutionize traffic management." The mayor's smile froze. "Jim, stick to cones." But Jim wouldn't relent. He pirouetted, arms flailing. "Picture it, Mr. Mayor, Jim's traffic ballet. It's my legacy." The mayor's patience snapped. "Jim," he said, "you're suspended." And just like that, Jim's rise halted. His colleagues watched in shock as he was escorted out, reflective vest sagging. The highway department returned to normal, no synchronized dances, no Jim-approved hand gestures. As Jim sat on the curb, stripped of his power, he realized the truth: he'd gone too far. The corporate ladder had crumbled beneath him, and he was just a cone again, a cautionary tale for ambitious traffic markers everywhere. And so, Jim faded into obscurity, his dreams of renaming streets and choreographing crosswalks shattered. But sometimes, late at night, you might hear a faint rustling near the highway. It's Jim, practicing his secret moves, the foxtrot merge and the rumba right turn, hoping for one last encore.